Hey there, friend. Yeah, you. The one with the headphones on, maybe doing dishes, going for a walk, or just lying in bed, wondering how the heck your day went by so fast. Let's take a moment. Breathe in and exhale slowly. You're here now. You showed up, and that's already something worth appreciating. Welcome to today's episode, Talk to Yourself Better, Positive Self-Talk in English. This isn't going to be your average lecture about language rules or grammar drills. Nope, we're going on a journey of personal growth all through English. And don't worry, I won't throw complicated words at you or make you feel like you're in an exam. This is a cozy space, like a warm cafe conversation with a friend who makes you laugh, think, and maybe even change the way you see yourself. So, let's begin. Have you ever caught yourself saying things like, "I'm so stupid. Why do I always mess things up? I'll never be good enough, especially in English." Sound familiar? Yeah, me too. We talk to ourselves all the time. It's like we've got this little radio station inside our head. Let's call it Worry FM, and it plays the same annoying tracks on repeat. But here's the kicker. The words you say to yourself matter. Let me repeat that for the people in the back. The words you say to yourself matter. Now, don't worry, we're not about to become some over-the-top motivational speakers yelling, "You can do it," while jumping on trampolines. Although, imagine that. But really, this is about learning to speak to yourself in a kinder, more helpful way, and doing it in English so you grow both your heart and your language skills. Now, what exactly is positive self-talk? It's simple. It's the way you encourage yourself. The little pep talks, the "you've got this" moments, the "it's okay to make mistakes" kind of talk. It's not lying to yourself or pretending everything is perfect. It's about being honest, but hopeful. Let's take an example. You make a mistake while speaking English. Your brain wants to scream, "Ugh, I'm terrible at this." But with positive self-talk, you pause and say, "Okay, I messed that up, but I'm learning. I'm improving. It's part of the process." That's it. That small shift changes everything. And yes, I know, it sounds simple, but try doing it every day. That's where the magic starts. Here's something to think about. We spend so much time practicing how to speak English with others, but how often do we practice speaking kindly with ourselves? Think of your brain like a garden. If you plant flowers, encouragement, patience, curiosity, your garden grows beautiful. But if you plant weeds, criticism, doubt, fear, those will grow too. So the question is, what are you planting? Let me tell you a quick story. There was a guy, let's call him Leo, learning English for work. Every time he spoke, he apologized. "Sorry for my bad English. I know this sounds stupid." And I told him, "Leo, if someone else talked to you the way you talk to yourself, would you hang out with them?" He laughed and said, "No way." Exactly. So why let your inner voice be such a bully? Let's pause here and pick up a handy English expression. Cut yourself some slack. It means don't be so hard on yourself. Give yourself a break. Example, you made a mistake, but hey, cut yourself some slack. You're learning. Beautiful, right? Now let's zoom out a little. Positive self-talk doesn't mean you become unrealistic. You don't walk around saying, "I am perfect, I speak flawless English, I can fly." Unless you're secretly a superhero, in which case, cool. But it means recognizing your effort, your growth, your journey. Another useful phrase here is progress, not perfection. Say it with me, progress, not perfection. This one's a game changer. Learning English or anything takes time. And every time you show up, listen to a podcast like this, or try speaking even when you're nervous, you're growing, you're making progress. And that is something to celebrate. Okay, let's talk about the power of your inner voice. You see, your inner voice is like your GPS. It gives you directions. If your GPS keeps shouting, "You're lost, you'll never get there," that's not helpful, right? But what if your GPS said, "Okay, wrong turn, no problem, recalculating, let's try again"? That's what positive self-talk sounds like. It helps you find the next step, not shame you for missing one. Here's another English phrase that fits perfectly. It's not the end of the world. Used when something goes wrong, but it's not a disaster. Example, I forgot a word during my presentation, but hey, it's not the end of the world. That kind of language gives you room to breathe, to grow. Let me share something from my own journey. When I started speaking another language, I was terrified of sounding silly. I'd rehearse sentences in my head like I was preparing for a courtroom trial. And when I finally spoke, my voice would shake. But the worst part? The things I said to myself after. "You're embarrassing. Why do we even try?" Until one day, someone told me this. Talk to yourself like you talk to a child you care about. Would you say to a little kid, "Wow, you're terrible"? Of course not. You'd say, "Good try. You're getting better every day." That moment changed everything for me. Let's try something together. Imagine you're learning to ride a bike. The first time, you fall. Hard. Would you say, "That's it, I'm done. I clearly suck at biking forever"? No. You'd get up, maybe cry a little, then try again. Same with English. Falling is part of the ride. Here's another phrase to keep in your back pocket. Don't throw in the towel. It means don't give up, keep going. It comes from boxing. When a boxer is losing, their coach might throw a towel into the ring to stop the fight. So don't throw in the towel means stay in the game. Let me ask you this. What would happen if every time you made a mistake in English, you smiled and said, "Oops, learning moment"? Imagine how fun language learning would become. Now, let's get real. Some days will be harder than others. You'll feel tired, you'll forget words you used yesterday. That's okay, that's life. But you know what you can always control? How you respond. What you whisper to yourself in those moments. Instead of, "I can't do this," say, "This is tough, but I've done tough things before." Instead of, "My English is terrible," say, "I'm still learning, and look how far I've come." These are tiny shifts with big impact. Another phrase that fits here, give yourself credit. It means recognize your efforts. Example, you've been listening to English podcasts every day? That's awesome. Give yourself credit. Let's have some fun now. What if we gave our negative inner voice a silly name, like Dramatic Diana or Negative Ned? So the next time you hear, "You'll never improve," you say, "Thanks for your opinion, Ned, but I'm busy growing." It's silly, sure, but it works. Humor can take the power out of fear. Speaking of which, here's a great phrase, lighten up. It means don't take everything so seriously. Relax a little. Sometimes we make a small mistake and treat it like the end of the world, but learning should be playful, curious, alive. Let's reflect for a moment. You're listening to this podcast in English. That already makes you a brave learner. You're not just studying words, you're exploring ideas. You're not just improving your listening, you're improving your life. This is growth, and growth doesn't always look like fireworks and applause. Sometimes it looks like choosing to speak even when your voice shakes. Sometimes it's reading one more page when your brain is tired. Sometimes it's choosing kind words over cruel ones, especially for yourself. And guess what? That's the kind of quiet courage builds unstoppable confidence. Now I want you to repeat after me. Yes, out loud. Don't be shy. Ready? I am doing better than I think. My mistakes are part of my progress. I can learn English and still be myself. I speak to myself with kindness. I don't give up. I grow. Felt good, right? These aren't just affirmations. They're reminders. Reminders that you're more capable, more resilient, and more awesome than your inner critic thinks. All right, friend, let's keep walking this road together. There are more stories to tell, more expressions to learn, and more ways to grow. But for now, I'll leave you with one final phrase. Talk to yourself like someone you love, because you are someone worth loving. And your English journey, it's not just about fluency. It's about becoming the kind of person who cheers themselves on, even when the road gets bumpy. So keep going, keep smiling, and above all, keep talking to yourself better in English and in life.